Good evening, everyone. TGIF edition as usual of the AFIA Sports Preview Square on AFIA TV. It is great to be here once again, and we're grateful to God for bringing us to the end of yet another working week. It has been a hectic, stressful week, full of events, full of incidents, but all the same, we thank God that we made it to the end. And the good book says that a living dog is better than a dead lion, so we just have to flow with that. Welcome, guys, to this show. And I remain CC Emechebe, your host, also known as CC the Rabbi. And I'm doing this, of course, not alone as usual, with my co-host, Emeka Nnadozie, the priest of football.
Thank you for having me again this evening.
Good to have you here, Emeka.
It's good to be here.
It is great. So wherever you're watching us around the world, you know that this is AFIA TV as usual. You can get us on the frequencies channel 254 DSTV, channel 17 Go TV, and channel 748 Free TV. We'll go straight into the show, but first of all, we'll look at the headlines. We have a couple of them right now for us to know, because charity always begins at home, which is why we begin at the home front in the NPFL, the Nigerian Premier Football League, particularly from here in the 042 Coal City, Enugu, in the beautiful city of Enugu in the southeastern region of Nigeria, where we have our team, Rangers International of Enugu, the Flying Antelopes, who are trying to get as high up the NPFL table as possible. There have been ups and downs. The recent down has been the recent passing of the dearly beloved Director of Media and Communications, Mr. Norbert Okolie, whose soul, by the grace of God, is resting in perfect peace. But the team has to move on. The show continues. And this time around, the first match that's going to take place since his passing is going to be at the Cathedral. Since his passing, and of course, the match against Barao FC. But now, first home match is going to be at the Cathedral, where Rangers International will welcome Niger Tornadoes. So Niger Tornadoes is the recent team, the latest team that will pay a visit to the Cathedral, and I hope they get christened there. That's the situation on ground. Rangers International will be welcoming Niger Tornadoes. Then the second bit of news there, it's not news to everybody right now regarding what happened 2 days ago in the CAF Awards. The travesty in certain areas, we don't want to get into that. We dealt with that quite a lot during the banter box yesterday. But the good news, we like to pull out the good news first of all, and that's the fact that our safest hands in Nigeria is also the safest hands in Africa, one of the safest hands rather in the world, referring to Chiamaka Nnadozie, the Brighton and Hove Albion goalkeeper. Safe hands indeed. She is the first player in the history of the award, the Yacine Award, that is the best goalkeeper award in the CAF Awards, to win a hat-trick of awards back to back. She is the holder. She won it first in 2023, then repeated the feat in 2024, and then she's completed a hat-trick recently, being the only Nigerian to win an individual title. Alongside her, of course, you had the best team of the tournament, best team of the year, and that's the Super Falcons, best female team of the year. But that's a group award. We're talking about individual awards. So congratulations go to Chiamaka Nnadozie. And then, of course, the third bit of news, many Nigerians who are very sentimental will not like to hear this news, but come on, we have a job to talk about sports and talk about what's going on. And that news has to do with the FIFA World Cup inter-confederal playoffs that will take place in Mexico in March 2026. Now, Congo DR, it is no news that Congo DR, Democratic Republic of Congo, who beat Nigeria on penalties, 4-3 on penalties, have that slot. And because they are highly placed there, they are one of the two highest placed teams out of the remaining 6 that will be in that mini tournament. They will avoid a semi-final berth, and they'll wait in the finals to face some teams. The other team that's highly placed is Iraq, who will be on the other side to face maybe Bolivia, possibly, or I'm trying to remember the other team. But for DR Congo, we are going to face, sorry, come again?
Bolivia or Singapore.
Bolivia or Singapore, yes. While DR Congo will be facing either New Caledonia or Jamaica. Jamaica, of course, was recently coached by the Steve McLaren, the former Middlesbrough and England manager. But that's the side that they will face. So New Caledonia or Jamaica are the only obstacle, or one of the only obstacles that could stand in the way of Democratic Republic of Congo from going to the World Cup for the first time in 55 years, or should I say 56 years, since the year 52 years, sorry, since 1974. That was when DR Congo was in the World Cup the last time. Okay, so We'll go straight to the business at hand, and that's the match week 14 fixtures of the NPFL. We have some games that are there, many games this weekend. Round 14 of the NPFL, we look at most of them, actually, all of them will be played on Sunday, the 23rd of November. Number 23rd of November. So let's just read them out. No, I think they are quite small, but let me read them out. Remo Stars will be playing host, defending champions Remo Stars will be playing host to Barao FC. And then, of course, you have Plateau United, who are supposed to be playing host to Rivers United, but it's not going to take place because Rivers United have a continental engagement. We'll get to that in a bit after this news concerning the NPFL. So Plateau United and Rivers United has been postponed till further notice. Kwara United will be playing host to Shooting Stars of Ibadan. Rangers, like I pointed out, the Flying Antelopes will be playing host to Niger Tornadoes. AFIA Warriors will be hosting Bendel Insurance. Nasarawa United will be hosting El Kanemi Warriors. Wiki Tourists will be hosting Bayelsa United. And then we'll have Warri Wolves hosting Kun Khalifat. Then Katsina United will host Aimba on Sunday by 4 p.m. The same time, Kano Pillars will host the current league leaders, Oga Boys themselves, Ikorodu City. And then we have the standings in the NPFL. Oga Boys, like I mentioned, are top of the log with 24 points with a superior goal difference to Nasarawa United, who are second on the log. And then Rivers United are third, AFIA Warriors fourth, Niger Tornadoes fifth, Wiki Tourists are sixth, the Flying Antelopes, Rangers are seventh, Warri Wolves are eighth, Bayelsa United ninth, El Kanemi Warriors 10th, Aimba are 11th, Kwara United are 12th, Katsina United 13th, 3SC Shooting Stars of Ibadan are 14th, Remo Stars are 15th, Plateau United are 16th, and that's the team that is just hovering above the relegation waters. Speaking of which, Barao FC find themselves in 17th position with 13 points, and then Kun Khalifat are 18th. Bendel Insurance are 19th, while Kano Pillar and Same Sugida are still the basement boys for this MPFL season so far after 13 rounds. So, Emeka, coming to you right now.
Yeah.
The MPFL has a good number of tasty fixtures. Which of these fixtures that have been listed out probably stand out to you? I'm looking at some fixtures like, Remo Stars are the defending champions, so naturally any fixture that involves them will attract attention. Yes. It will be a key one. But they're playing against a Barra FC who have really huffed and puffed a little bit coming back to the MPFL. They've had mixed fortunes. But you're looking at of course, Flying Antelopes, naturally. We would expect to see games like that. That's Enugu Rangers against Niger Tornadoes. But other than that, which other fixtures do you think will stand out?
I'll be looking forward for the Aimba game there as well. I mean, that will be one to watch. I'm always
their trip to Cathedral United.
Yes, right? I'm always looking out for our fellow Southeast brothers, and I want to see what they can do. And I'll also be looking at the Ikorodu City game. I mean, I want to see if they can continue in the red hot form and keep their position on the top of the table. So far, they've been very wonderful, and they found themselves on the top slots. So let's see if they have what it takes to keep themselves right there.
Okay, so talking about the Ikorodu City game, that's Oga Boys and Kano Pillars. In recent times, I think because football can humble you a great deal. If you are not privy to, maybe before the start of the season, for instance, and you're not privy to the results that have been going on so far, and this fixture was put down around this period, maybe March week 12, March week 13, March week 14, and you have no knowledge of what transpired in the first 12 or 13 match weeks, and you are told that one of these teams is top on the log and the other is rock bottom, the basement team. In all honesty, which do you think would be the top team, and which one would be the basement team, if you don't know anything about what their positions are on the table?
If you know where their positions are.
If you don't know where their positions are, safe to, based on their pedigree, based on what they've been able to do, wouldn't you say
you would expect them to be on top? Bigger club than the Ikorodu City, but like you said, if you didn't know the statistics leading up to now, you would jump the gun and say, yes, Kano Pillars will win this game single-handedly by doubt. No holds bars. They are going to go there, annihilate Oga Boys. But Now that you know the statistics at hand, you've seen the game weeks building up to today, building up to that very match, and you've seen the position of both Oga Boys and Kano Pillars. You have to now take into consideration the form that these two teams are on. And Oga Boys right now look like they're flying red hot on the league. And let's see, it's been a long time since a Lagos-based team has really found themselves hanging on the top of the table. Can we see them maybe holding that fort down, maybe down to the end of the season? Nobody knows. This is another firm test. Can they undo the Canopilla side and get 3 points? That is what we're looking out for. I mean, the Rangers game as well at the Cathedral against Niger Tornadoes is another key game I want to see. Because you win that, that means you're just 2 points off the top of the table, which takes you into fourth place, or possibly maybe a third place with a good result. That's if they get a good number of goals there. So those are key fixtures that I'm really watching out for this weekend.
Well, if is such a wonderful word, you know, a word that we value a lot and we bandy around, and it's all about ifs, buts, and maybes.
Yes.
But no, switching right now, you know, one of the teams that you have there in the NPFL that's third on log is Canopilla, same as, sorry, I beg your pardon, Rivers United. Rivers United, yeah, doing very well for themselves in the league. At least it's still early days. The league season is not a sprint but a marathon,
Yes.
so we expect that. But the fact that they are holding their own in third position and the only team on the continent, to be precise, they will be facing the defending champions of the CAF Champions League, the champions of Africa. Let's put it that way. The Egyptian champions. Yes, when you say Egyptian champions of Africa, one would, I mean, will forgive you for assuming it's either Al Ali or Zamalek. Hey, no. What about Pyramids FC, who became the third Egyptian team to win the CAF Champions League, and that's what happened there. So you're looking at Rivers United taking that trip. They are doing very, very well in the NPFL. But right now you're looking at Rivers United, who will be playing this Sunday, or rather tomorrow, not Sunday, tomorrow by 8 p.m. away at Pyramids FC. Pyramids FC. Somebody once said that Pyramids FC might, how did the person put it again? So Pyramid FC might bury Rivers United in the pyramid. I don't know. I'm just saying. But what do you think of this fixture? What hope does Rivers United have based on the fact that they are playing against the defending champions?
Yes.
Yes, you would say that they had a slightly easier route to this point in the early stages of the CAF Champions League. The first preliminary round, they scaled through without incident. The second preliminary round, they had it all to do after losing 1-0 to Black Bulls of Maputo, Mozambique.
Yes.
They had to go there. They had to welcome them rather, and then beat them 3-0.
Yeah.
So they scaled through. They beat them 3-1. I beg your pardon.
Yes.
So they became the first Nigerian team to reach the group stage of the CAF Champions League, which is no mean feat in itself. But they did not face, no disrespect to Black Bulls, they did not face Mamelodi Sundowns. That was Remo Star's cross to bear.
Yes.
And we saw the cross crush them. But this time around, I don't know whether to call it worse, because they are facing the champions, the defending champions of the CAF Champions League.
Yes.
How much harder can this get?
As you progress in tournaments like this, it never gets easy. The higher you go, the difficulty becomes. The more you have obstacles in front of you, the more the journey becomes more worse and worse. And when you look at the team that they are facing, yes, you pointed it out, they are the defending champions. And this is Pyramids from Egypt. They are not a small team in the CAF Champions League. I mean, to go on and win the CAF Champions League means you're not a small team anymore. Now, it's away from home. That's another thing you need to consider. It's all about the mentality now. It's all about the hunger and the drive from Rivers United. Many people didn't believe them to be the Nigerian side that will still be left in the CAF Champions League. No disrespect to Ramos as the defending champion of the NPFL. They were just simply not the best in the last round against Mamelodi Sundowns, getting knocked 7-1 on aggregate in total, and that was a total demolition of the team. Now, facing the only Nigerian side left in the CAF Champions League, they are facing the defending champions. What has to happen here? You have to put away the fact that you're facing the defending champions. Yes, that is still a factor. Put that away from your mind. We're going to Egypt, is just another team we're going to play. All we need to do now is get a good, solid game plan stick to what we're doing in the 90 minutes. If it's not working, we change it, tweak something around, and get the results. Nobody's saying there might be a clean sheet for Rivers United or for Premier League, but you have to go there and outscore your opponents. Get as many goals as possible, then hope for best in the return leg.
Okay, cool. So what will happen is this. I'll just give you, well, we wish Rivers United all the best. It's not going to be an easy task at all. First of all, you're talking about the fact that they are going to the north of Africa. You know how that goes. And then also they are going to the home of the champions of Africa. So it doesn't get tougher than that. But the bigger they come, the harder they fall. And hopefully that will happen. The CAF Champions League results and fixtures for the match of that they played out in 10-man Al Hilal beating MCL just 2-1. And then you have Young Africans against ASFAR. They will play tomorrow. Sundowns, Mamelodi Sundowns, the victors of Remo Stars, will play Senelua Lupopo. Then Al Ali will play Kabile. Then Esperance will face Stade Malien rather. We've mentioned Pyramids up against Rivers United.
Yes.
And then we will see RS Berkane, who are in the same group, playing Power Dynamos, RS Berkane of Morocco, playing against hosting Power Dynamos of Zambia. So that's Group A. Then we'll have Simba playing host to Petro Luanda. Those are the games that will be played. That's the only game that will be played on Sunday by 2 p.m. So that's how the CAF Champions League is going to open up the curtain raiser for the CAF Champions League. Is going to happen this time around. Stick around, don't touch that dial. Make sure you stay tuned. We have a lot to talk about, especially since we're going to Europe and other parts of the world to discuss sports, and more sports on the AFIA Sports Preview Square on AFIA TV. Stay tuned, don't touch that dial. Welcome back to the AFIA Sports Preview Square on AFIA TV. Of course, the frequencies remain the same. Channel 254 DSTV, Channel 748 Free TV, and Channel 17 Go TV. I'm still CC the Rabbi here with Emeka Madoka, the piece of football.
Thank you for having me.
And we know charity begins at home but doesn't end at home. That's why we're here right now in Europe, talking about the EPL and other leagues, but starting primarily with the EPL. This is a beautiful period for sides, people that are big fans of different clubs, because there's no distraction of the international break till March next year. And it's going to be thick and fast. This is a festive period that we're stepping into. Christmas is around the corner, and this festive period is going to have a serious backlog of games. That's why everybody is getting involved. And round 12 of the English Premier League beckons, and we're going to see games there. The first game, the early kickoff, is going to be at Turf Moor between Chelsea and Burnley, who are the hosts. Chelsea are the hosts, or rather Burnley are the hosts, while Chelsea will welcome Burnley Burnley will welcome Chelsea rather to Turf Moor to play against and to lock horns with them. Then Liverpool will be playing host to Nottingham Forest at Anfield. Bournemouth will be playing host to West Ham United at the Vitality Stadium. Then we're going to have Brighton and Hove Albion at the Amex hosting Brentford. Wolverhampton Wanderers, the basement team, the only side that is yet to pick a single win in the EPL after 12 matches, after 11 matches actually. They are going to be welcoming Crystal Palace to Molineux. And then Fulham will be welcoming Sunderland to Craven Cottage. We're going to have ending up proceedings on Saturday. The late kickoff is going to be by 6:30 p.m. where Newcastle United will be playing host to Manchester City at St. James's Park. A man in form who is the highest goal scorer at the moment and one of the deadliest strikers on the continent at the moment and probably in the world, Erling Haaland. And he's leading Haaland FC to Newcastle United's ground. Then we're going to have Sunday fixtures where we have Leeds United hosting Aston Villa, and that's going to be at Elland Road. Manchester United is the only team that will be playing alongside Everton on Monday by 9 p.m. But the late kickoff on Saturday is the biggest game of this weekend, biggest in terms of cultural significance and also title predictions. You're looking at the North London derby. Now, Arsenal Football Club will be hosting Tottenham Hotspur. These two teams have a raft of injury issues. One or two things. The latest injury issue for Arsenal has to be Gabriel Magalhaes, the centre-back, pulling out of the squad, the Brazil squad that was going to play against Tunisia because of an injury, a groin injury he picked up, while he was sprinting. So Arsenal have to tinker a bit. According to the records, Arsenal have the second highest number of injuries in the Premier League. Man City, I think, have 16. Arsenal have 12 recorded, but there are some who are coming back. We'll talk about that in a bit. But looking at this game, one of the significant, this game has, of course, Arsenal have bragging rights. They've had bragging rights for close to 4 years right now in this fixture. Close to 4 years, because it was very early in 2021. It was the last time Manchester City beat Arsenal. So I beg your pardon, Tottenham Hotspur beat Arsenal. They've not been able to do that in a very long time. But you're looking at a situation where Arsenal have a double point to prove. Arsenal Football Club are hosting Tottenham Hotspur.
Yes.
And Tottenham is the team that has the best away record in the Premier League.
Yes,
They've not lost one single game away from home this season. They have the best away record. And credit to Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank is doing a very, very good job. And Arsenal, of course, it is an ambition of Arsenal to crush that. They want to do that.
Yes.
Then Arsenal also know that it's very important to create daylight between themselves and the chasing pack, particularly Manchester City, and maybe the others like Chelsea, maybe Liverpool, if they can recover, the likes of Bournemouth, some of those who are outsiders waiting. So Arsenal know that this game is a must-win. In all honesty, objectively, where will this game be won and lost? It's going to be a tactical contest between the Spaniard, Mikel Arteta, and then the Dane, that's Thomas Frank. Where are they likely to have, because Tottenham have their own injury issues, some serious injury issues, and also questionable players who may not make it to that team. They have long-term injuries. This man, James Maddison, is out, totally out. Kulusevski has been out for a while. These are some of the key players who are missing. I think, trying to remember, but there are a good number of them. So what's your take on this fixture, and where will it be won and lost, and who is likely to come out smelling of roses?
I mean, the North London derby has never been an easy affair. It's always been cagey. It's always been something worth of, figuratively, a bloodbath. When you look at it, I mean, there's always the feisty rivalries between the players. Players have so much emotions in these games. You see the Arsenal players coming out to run and defend their honour for being the better side in the North London ranks. Tottenham having a point to prove that they still have relevance in North London. I mean, most recently as they won the Europa League a couple of seasons ago. Now, if you look at this game now, Arteta has the upper hand because of the squad depth at his disposal. Yes, you might say the injuries to Madueke, you might say the injuries to Gabriel. Gabriel is a big blow, but they have cover-ups there. They have the likes of Nkapi, the likes of Mosquera who can come in there. I mean, Calaferi can even double in there if need be.
As a left centre-back.
Yes, and they also have Ben White as well. So they have a plethora of defenders that can step in to replace Gabriel. It's just building a system now that will be able to sustain them till Gabriel is back. Now that test begins with Tottenham. Where it will be won and lost is going to be in the midfield and in the defense. I say that because the midfield isn't top-notch on the day. The defense of that team is going to suffer. Either it be Tottenham or either it be Arsenal. Now Arsenal, we know that they rely on three things: their counter-attacks, their set pieces, and the pace of their wingers. Tottenham, on the other hand, rely on counter-attacks and the defensive setup that they have there. I mean, trusting in the likes of Mickey van der Ven, Danso, also have the likes of Pedro Porro coming into that mix. These are defenders that can switch the game on his head. So these are game changers, if you might say. Now, Thomas Frank, being the Tottenham manager here, would not want to go into the Emirates Stadium and be complacent. He's not going to want to sit back and allow this Arsenal side soak his team up with pressure. He's going to want to go toe for toe, like for like. But where he might have a difficult problem here is, can his men 90 minutes for 90 minutes strive for strive with this Arsenal side? Because I mean, this is an Arsenal side led by Arteta that is really red hot right now. They are the most informed team in the league right now and in the world at the moment. So it's going to be hard for Thomas Frank and his boys to go in there and get anything positive. But never give up. They could go there and maybe shock everyone, get the win, like you said, like they famously did 4 years ago.
Okay, so football is a very funny game. Sometimes stats get thrown out of the wind for a reason. You're looking at an Arsenal side; they have their own good number of injuries. Like typically, you have some of the players who have started training, who are training and who are fighting to be fit in time to get into the team. The good news for Arsenal: Noni Madueke is getting ready. He might just be part of Madueke rather. Is getting ready to be part of this. If he passes the fitness test, fine. Odegaard is making steady progress. This might be too soon for him, but everybody's looking at Arsenal is looking at, if not this Tottenham Hotspur game, looking at the Bayern Munich game or even the Chelsea game, which is going to be this next weekend.
Yes.
You're looking at Vitor Gyökeres, who is also struggling to get back. He might get match fit soon. Gabriel Martinelli there. You're looking at, of course, Havertz had a relapse of his injury, so it's likely that he will be out towards the end of the year. So that's a big blow for Arsenal. But still, Gabriel is definitely out, but he's doing capital. Gabriel is out. Gabriel Magalhaes. Gabriel Jesus has already started making tremendous progress in his rehabilitation. You're looking at Calafiori, who may just fill in that Gabriel role. We've talked about that. But looking at the Tottenham injuries, like we mentioned earlier, Madison is out, Kulusevski is out, no chance of them being there. Bissouma is out, he's not going to play. Looking at the doubtful players, Dragusin and Dominic Solanke. Solanke has not even played yet this season.
Yes.
So, but when you and then even around Kolomwani, there's a question as to whether he's going to play or not. We don't know yet. But what I'm just saying in essence is this: you said that the game is going to be won. Now, permit me, because this is the biggest game in the EPL this weekend. That's why we're spending much time talking about this at the expense of other games. Yeah, the other important games, Burnley against Chelsea is a very important game because one of the reasons you have to consider maybe Cole Palmer has he injured his toe.
I was going to get to that after we're done with this conversation.
Just because of the time issue. So he's likely to even miss the next 3 games, the Burnley game, the Barcelona game, and then the Arsenal game.
Yes.
So that's a big blow. But this game is one that really, you said one in the midfield. You're looking at a midfield of Zubimendi, most likely Eze and then Merino, most likely. That's a midfield that's most likely to choose itself. Against a midfield that has Paulinho, fantastic player, Pape Matasar and Bentancur. These are very important players. So maybe a blend of craft and graft. But the defense, Gabriel is missing from this game.
Yes.
But we've had some, when I say we, I'm talking generally in the EPL, we've had situations where some key defenders have been missing, but they've not been missed. There's a difference between being missing and being missed.
Yes.
Saliba, for instance, was missing against Liverpool in the as early as the 5th minute, but he wasn't missed because Mosquera stepped in and then made people forget that there was even a Saliba.
Yes.
So that's the benefit of strength in depth. But the point I'm trying to make, even if Arsenal have a slightly better, maybe not slightly, I don't know, but even if Arsenal have a better defense and better midfield than a Tottenham Hotspur, who have the highest scoring defender in the Premier League in Van de Ven, and alongside Romero, the captain, Kuti Romero, and then you have Pedro Porro and Jet Spence, the first Muslim player for England. It's a big boost for the likes of him. Arsenal have a fantastic record in London derbies. Apart from the fact that Arsenal have lost only one game against a member of the so-called Big Six in almost 3 seasons. Actually, more than 3 seasons now. And Arsenal have lost only one game, and that was to Liverpool this season.
Yes.
And Arsenal have lost only one London derby in up to 3 seasons too, and that was against West Ham United last season at the Emirates.
Yes.
But even with those advantages that Arsenal has, it's a derby, not London derby. Prediction.
It's going to be a tricky one because, like we mentioned, there are other external factors that you're going to have to consider in this. I mean, before the Arsenal game, you have to take into consideration that the Chelsea game is also another factor that will influence this game. Because Chelsea win Burnley, that makes it 3 points behind Arsenal, which Arsenal will want to extend the gap between them and Chelsea. Now, My predictions is going to be a 3-2 win for Arsenal.
Okay.
3-2 win or a 2-0 draw, depending on the form of this Arsenal side come that game tomorrow.
So what you're saying in essence is that Arsenal will develop an Achilles heel defensively because of the absence of Gabriel. That's what
I'm
you're saying.
not saying it's because of the absence of Gabriel, but we've seen this with the Arsenal side when they hit red hot form, they have 1 or 2 lapses in 1 or 2 crucial games.
Okay.
So it's another possibility that I'm considering as well.
Okay, a possibility, but you also look at the issue of plausibility and also probability. This is an Arsenal side member that did not. The one you're referring to is an Arsenal side that did not have this kind of strength in depth before.
True.
But I digress. Burnley Chelsea, just give us results. Burnley Chelsea.
Burnley Chelsea 3-0, and I'm seeing Estevao scoring.
So you mean 0-3?
0-3, yes.
Burnley are hosting. Liverpool, Nottingham Forest.
Liverpool 1-0 victory.
Bournemouth, West Ham United.
Bournemouth, West Ham United. Bournemouth straight win 2-0.
Brighton and Hove Albion, Brentford.
Draw.
Wolverhampton Wanderers, Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace straight win.
That's an away win. Okay.
Yes.
Fulham, Sunderland.
Sunderland straight win, away win.
Newcastle United, Manchester City.
Draw. 2-2 draw.
Leeds United, Aston Villa.
Aston Villa straight win 4-0.
Okay, Yorkshire against Midlands.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. 4-0 away from home.
4-0 away from home.
Okay, I'll put you on the spot next time. And then the final one, we've talked about the North London derby. The final one, Manchester United at Old Trafford hosting Everton Football Club. Moisaya going to his former hunting ground.
This is a tricky one because, like you said, Mosiah going back to his former club. There's going to be a lot of emotions there as well. Yeah, we can give it to the Manchester United side for having this renewed hope and this good form that they've been on. But I don't want to be too complacent and jump ship and say, okay, because of the run of form that they've been on, they are going to have a straight win. It could be a close affair, so I'm seeing a 2-1 victory for Manchester United or a 2-0 draw.
Okay, right. So let's see whether renewed hope will work in this case, just like you rightly pointed out.
Yeah, that's down for Ruben Amorim and his boys.
Okay, so let's move straight because of time. We're going to the Spanish La Liga. Let's see how far we can go with the La Liga. Spanish La Liga, we're going to have round of 13 in La Liga beginning tonight. Valencia will be hosting Levante in the Valencian derby. That's the Valencia derby. And then Alaves will be hosting Celta Vigo. That's the early kickoff on Saturday by 2 p.m. Alaves, Celta Vigo. Barcelona Football Club will be hosting Athletic Bilbao, by 4:15 p.m. on Saturday. By 6:30 p.m., Osasuna will be hosting Real Sociedad. Yes. Then Villarreal will be hosting Mallorca by 9 p.m. That's the late kickoff. Then on Sunday, we'll have 2 p.m. game, Real Oviedo hosting Rayo Vallecano. And then we're going to have by 4:15 p.m., Real Betis playing host to Girona. And Getafe will be hosting Atletico Madrid by 6:30 p.m. a Madrid derby there. Then Elche will be hosting Real Madrid, and that's going to be by 9 p.m. While the only game on Monday will be Espanyol hosting Sevilla. So that's the Spanish La Liga for you. Standout fixtures, results. Very, very quickly because of time.
Barcelona Athletic Club, that has always been a feisty fixture over the years. That's going to be also one for the title race deciders because those are the two teams at the top of the table, Real Madrid and Barcelona. The Real Madrid game as well is another key game.
Okay, Real Madrid.
Yes, okay. And no discredit to LK. I'm giving a straightforward victory to Real Madrid. Barcelona on the other side will face a tougher task, but I do see them coming out on top. Maybe 4-1 to Atletico Bilbao.
What about the Madrid derby?
Derby.
When I say the Madrid derby, you know, when there is the Madrid derby and there are Madrid derbies. Yeah. So this Madrid derby this weekend, Getafe playing host to Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid victory, 3-0 against
Away from home.
Away from home.
Atletico. Really?
Atletico.
Okay.
I'm quite gutsy right there. Yes.
No, yeah, please be gutsy by all means. This is not a very popular fixture, but the fact that it's a derby, I don't mind chipping it in. The Valencian derby, Valencia hosting Levante. Also you have to give them a bit of mention. Remember,
Yes.
one of the floods that took place in Valencia last season affected that area. So we just need to give them a bit of a boost, popularity boost, a bit more than they already have. So what do you think about this fixture? Derby spirit and then also potential
A derby is a derby, like we said, whether it's not the biggest derby or one of the biggest derbies in the country. Valencia against Levante, I do see Levante getting a straightforward win there, 2-1.
Okay, Levante 2-1.
Yes.
Levante against Valencia.
Valencia have not really...
They've been horrible this season,
Yes.
I know, but come on, it's a derby.
It's a derby,
It's a derby,
yes.
and Valencia have more pedigree.
Valencia
It's
have more
got to
pedigree,
count
but
for
pedigree
something.
counts for less when you're not backing it up. And they've not backed it up in most recent seasons. So
I can't argue with you otherwise. I can't argue with you. No, there is a huge match in the Italian Serie A this weekend, but the other fixtures that are there. Let me read the fixtures that we have in the Italian Serie A this weekend. We're going to have Udinese hosting Bologna, Cagliari hosting Genoa, Fiorentina will be hosting Juventus, a very, very powerful game there.
Yes.
The Faiola in Florence will be hosting the Turin Giants, the old lady in of Juventus. Then Napoli will be hosting Atalanta, if not for just the nonsense that happened a couple of seasons ago. Now this would have been Ademola Lookman and Vito Osimhen, but no, come on, a man can't have what he wishes all the time.
You can't have
and
everything.
Then Verona hosting Parma, and then Cremonese hosting Roma. Lazio will be hosting Lecce, very, very important game. Torino will be hosting Como. Cesc Fabregas has been doing a wonderful job. Sassuolo hosting Pisa. Pisa has one of our Nigerian players, Ebenezer, who is hopefully one of the players for the future as we rebuild the national side, the Super Eagles. But the standout fixture has to be the Milan derby, and that's Internazionale hosting AC Milan. So the Nerazzurri hosting the Rossoneri on their home pitch because they both share the same Giuseppe Meazza Stadium, San Siro. What do you think about this fixture?
If I say home victory, it sounds funny because
technically Inter are playing home. They are hosting. Technically, they are neighbors. In fact, they're not just neighbors. They are roommates.
They are roommates, exactly. I just have to give it to International. I'm going to give it a 3-2 win there over AC Milan.
Inter, okay.
Yes.
Inter are top of the log. Yes, Milan are third. So I think fair enough. Let's just leave it that way. So that's the Italian Serie A. Those are the results. Those are the fixtures that we're going to have. Very quickly, we'll move straight to the German Bundesliga and just look at some games, a few games quickly. And then in the German Bundesliga, we're going to have in round 11 of German Bundesliga, we have Mainz 05 hosting Hoffenheim. Then Bayern Munich against Freiburg, GP booster. Of course, one would expect that. What would be a shock is if Bayern do not win that game.
Yes.
That would be the shock. Then Borussia Dortmund hosting Stuttgart. Serhou Guirassy, who missed out, who missed out on the AFCON Player of the Year shortlist because he's one of those that should have been mentioned at least because of his heroics for Dortmund against his former side Stuttgart. Then Wolfsburg will be hosting Bayern Leverkusen. Leverkusen, of course, are not the team they used to be, the team that won Bundesliga flawlessly not too long ago. Then Heidenheim will be hosting Borussia Mönchengladbach. Augsburg will be hosting HSV. And then Cologne will be hosting Frankfurt, Eintracht Frankfurt. Leipzig will be hosting Werder Bremen. And St. Pauli will be hosting Union Berlin. Those are the games that we're going to see in the Bundesliga, the German Bundesliga this weekend. In the French Ligue 1, we're going to have some games that will be played. Beginning with, of course, Nice tonight. Nice will be hosting Marseille, Olympique Marseille. Marseille traveling away from the Stade Velodrome to face Nice. Will it be a nice result for Nice? I don't know. But we're going to know by the end of today.
Yes,
but tomorrow, other games, Lens will be hosting Strasbourg. Rennes will be hosting AS Monaco. And of course, AS Monaco, that game is a game that most likely will have this man, Paul Pogba, make his comeback. His first game in 19 months in football. Paul Pogba.
They call him.
Yes,
as they call him over in France, Pagboum.
Pagboum, yes. So he does come back. And it's strange that Pogba has never played in the French Ligue 1. That is strange. He's a Frenchman, but he has never played in it because he was still very young when he went to Man United. He didn't get the chance to play. He played in Le Havre, but he moved to Man United as a teenager. So he wasn't able to make his debut in the French Ligue 1. But he has the opportunity to make his debut in the French Ligue 1. and that's for Monaco against Rouen. Then the defending champions and champions of Europe, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, will be hosting the same Le Havre we're talking about right now, the former club of Paul Pogba. Then Auxerre will be hosting Olympique Lyonnais. Then Brest will be hosting Metz. And then Toulouse will be hosting Angers. And Nantes will be hosting Lorient. And then Lille will host Paris. That's Paris FC, not Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah, Paris FC. So we also have, very quickly, we're going to look at some of the results from the Women's Champions League, UEFA Women's Champions League. UEFA Women's Champions League took place just this past weekend. We'll just look at the results very quickly before we go on this short and final break. The UEFA Women's Champions League round 4, we had games there. Wolfsburg beat Manchester United 5-2. That was a mauling for Man United. And then Juventus, the old lady, and Olympique Lyonnais, who are the most successful side in the Women's Champions League, managed to share the spoils in a 6-goal thriller. 3-all, 3-3 draw. Then Vålerenga had a 2-all draw against St. Polten. And then Paris beat Benfica, 10-man or 10-woman Benfica, 2-0. Arsenal Football Club came from behind against Real Madrid and beat them 2-1. Arsenal and Real Madrid, I think they've gotten their number, both male and female. Then FC Twente lost scandalously at home to Atletico de Madrid. OH Leuven had a 1-all draw with AS Roma Femini. Then Paris Saint-Germain lost at home to Bayern Munich 3-1. Then Chelsea had a 1-all draw with Barcelona. This was a game very important. So I'll just give you the standings in the UEFA Champions League for women. We have FC Barcelona on top of the log after 4 games. Lyon are second, Wolfsburg third, Bayern Munich fourth, Manchester United are fifth, Chelsea fifth,
Bayern Munich fifth.
Bayern Munich fifth. Rather, yes, sorry, the switch. Bayern Munich fifth. No. This is the current one. Yes.
Okay.
Bayern Munich there's just a slight error there. Sorry. Right. So Bayern Munich are fourth. Man United are fifth. Chelsea are sixth. Real Madrid seventh. Juventus eighth. Atletico de Madrid are ninth. Arsenal 10th. Then Leuven are 11th, and then Paris are 12th. The top 12 are the teams that have a chance of qualifying because it's the female Champions League group stage.
Yes.
It's different from the male because of the number of teams. Because 13th you have Vålerenga, 14th, 20. 15th Benfica, Roma are 16th, St. Polten are 17th, and then rock bottom, strangely, are Paris Saint-Germain. So what that means is that the qualification straight up is for the teams that finish first to fourth. So right now, Barcelona, Lyon, Wolfsburg, and Bayern are in the qualification zone. That's automatic qualification. While the playoffs, you have 5th to 12th. It begins with Manchester United down to Paris. So Vålerenga, Twente, Benfica, Roma, St. Polten, and Paris Saint-Germain have a lot of work to do. Let's watch and see how that pans out. Okay, so we'll be right back after this short break and then tie up things for you. No, we're still in the world of sports. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. It's still the AFIA Sports Preview Square on AFIA TV. Stick around, guys. The AFIA Sports Preview Square on AFIA TV, and this is the final lap of the show, and we move straight to the NBA, the National Basketball Association, and we're going to look at the results from yesterday till early hours of this morning. We had the Cleveland Cavaliers losing to the Houston Rockets 114-104, and then the Indiana Pacers outclassing the Hornets 127-118. Philadelphia 76ers were not good enough against the Toronto Raptors because they lost 121-112 points. Then Miami Heat beat the Golden State Warriors 110-96 points. Then Minnesota Timberwolves beat Washington Wizards 120-109. The Pelicans lost to Denver Nuggets 118-125. Oklahoma City Thunder passed the Sacramento Kings 113-99. Dallas Mavericks ended up losing to the New York Knicks 113-111. Then Portland Trail Blazers lost by a narrow point to Chicago Bulls 122-121. Then the Orlando Magic thrashed LA Clippers 129 to 101. Memphis Grizzlies thrashed the Sacramento Kings 137 to 96 points. And then the Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Philadelphia 76ers, who played after extra time early as of this morning, 123 to 114. And then San Antonio Spurs outclassed Atlanta Hawks, 135 points, 126 points. I think that's the size of the package. The NBA has served us very well, but now we have to serve you by leaving. Thank you very much for being with us on the AFIA Sports Preview Square. We'll do this again tomorrow by 10:30 a.m. I want to thank the floor manager, everybody here, Chris, salute you for what you do. And of course, Chiamaka in the PCR and MCR and then Moxie too. We really thank you for all you do all the time. Emeka Madoka, Priest of Football, we salute you. Thank you.
It's nice being here.
Guys, we'll do this again tomorrow by 10:30 a.m. on the AFIA Home of Sports. Until then, remain blessed. I'm Sisi the Rabbi, signing out.